Okay, today we are discussing about the problems on the frictions. These are the connected bodies problem. What is the value of P in the system shown in the figure to cause the motion impending? Assume the pulleys are smooth and the coefficient of friction between other contact surfaces is 0.2. Now, if you see here, there are the two blocks which is connected with the rope, and there is one P force which is making an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal. Now, how much this P force is required to move this whole arrangement? This string or this wire is passing from the smooth pulley. It means that if the smooth pulley is provided, the friction in between the pulleys are neglected. And here, if you see here, this inclined surface, it is making an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal, connected with the block of 750 Newton weight and another block of 500 Newton weight. Now, for such an arrangement, what will be the P force required to move all these two blocks together? And these blocks are connected with the wire. Now, let us see. And coefficient of friction between the other contact surfaces, it means that this 500 Newton block, which is resting over this horizontal plane, and this 750 Newton block, which is resting over this inclined plane, the coefficient of friction between them is 0.2 over here. Now let us see how to solve this problem and how to find out this P. Now here we have to draw the separate free body diagram of this 750 Newton block as well as this 500 Newton block. Now let us consider this 750 Newton block. Now as we know that the self weight of that block is passing from the CG of that particular block. It is shown like this one. The weight of the block is 750 Newton. Now it is making an angle of 60 with the horizontal. That's why here it makes an angle of 60 degree. Now here in this wire, the tension T is developing. Now let us consider this T is the tension which is developing inside this string. Now due to this motion is in this direction, that's why the friction force will be in the opposite direction. As we know that the friction force is always in the direction opposite to the direction of motion is impending. That's why F1 is going in this direction, downward direction. Now as we know that it is contact surface, it makes a normal reaction, let us say N1, that is shown over here. N1 is the normal reaction. In this free body diagram, generally what we show that whatever may be the external load, there is no any external load over this block, self weight, that is 750, and the reaction component. Now here reaction component in the string is T due to the friction F1 and due to the normal reaction N1. Now let us solve this problem and free body diagram of the 500 Newton block. Now if you see here, the self weight is passing from the CG of the block. Now in this string, the tension which is developing is T, that is shown over here. Now external load, that is P, which is making an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal, is shown over here. Now this block is trying to move in this direction. That's why friction force will be developing in this direction. That's why F2 is shown in this direction. And normal reaction N2, which is vertically upward over here. Normal reactions are always perpendicular to the plane. Now here it is perpendicular to this plane, here it is perpendicular to this plane. Okay, these are the normal reaction. These are the free body diagrams of individual blocks. Now let us start with this. Now we have to resolve this 750 Newton force because it is making an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal. That's why we are resolving this force. That's why, as we know that this angle is, as we know that the force adjacent to angle is always cos component. That's why 750 cos 60 over here and 750 sin 60 over here. And it is normal to the this inclined plane, and this force is parallel to this inclined plane. It means that we resolve this force in this direction and in this direction, normal to the plane and parallel to the plane. Now consider the equilibrium of the block of 750 Newton. Now let us consider the weight of or block of 750. Separately only we are considering this block now. Now let us take the summation of all vertical forces. Now summation Fy. Now here summation Fy means we are considering the forces which are normal to the inclined plane. It means that the forces in this direction only, which is making 90-degree angle with the inclined plane. Now for this direction, now let us check it out. What are the forces? Now here N1 is going vertically upward. What we have considered, instead of this plane is inclined, let us assume that this block is like this one. This block is like this one, horizontal one. Your N1 is in this direction. That's why N1 is going vertically upward. Now here resolve component, that is going vertically downward, that is 750 cos 60, and here is the horizontal component, that is the sine component over here, and here T. Instead of considering this incline, let us assume that the block is in horizontal position. That's why summation Fy, N1 force is going vertically upward. This resolve component 750 cos 60 is going vertically downward. Now if you solve this, let us check it out. This minus term, if you are taking to this side, it becomes a plus term, that is 750 cos 60, 375 Newton. It means that your N1 value is 375 Newton. Okay. Similarly, as we know that the relation between the friction force and normal reaction, which is provided, the coefficient of friction is 0.2. It means that by the friction force, F1 is equal to nu into N1. Now here new value is provided 0.2 over here, and N1 what we have calculated is 375 Newton. Now let us make the calculation. This 0.2 multiply with this answer, what you will be getting 75. It means that your F1 is of 75. Now let us find out this T. To find out this T, what we have to make the summation of all horizontal forces. Now here T force is going right side, that's why it is taken as positive. F1 force is going left side, that's why it is taken as negative. The resolve component is also going in the left side, that's why it is taken as negative. Now here F1 value is 75, put this value over here, 75. Now T is equal to 75 plus. Now these minus terms are we are taking to this side, it becomes a plus terms, means 75 plus 750 sine 60. Now put the values, 75 plus 750 sine 60 over here. Now if you solve this, you'll be getting 724.51 Newton. That is the T value. That is the tension in the string is 724.5 Newton. This will be the value of T force. That is the tension in the string. Now once you will be getting this value, now next procedure that we have to find out the P force in the block of 500 Newton. Now let us consider the free body diagram of the 500 Newton block. Now let us see the free body diagram of the 500 Newton block. Now let us consider this block is in equilibrium. Now again here we are taking summation of all vertical forces is equal to 0. Now here N2 is going vertically upward, that's why we are taking it positive. This 500 Newton block is going vertically downward, that's why we are taking negative. And this resolve force, now here what we have to make the resolution of force. Now let us make the resolution of the force. Here, as we know that the resolve component in vertical direction and in horizontal direction, it will be the P cos 30, and vertical component is of P sin 30. P sin 30. Now here vertical component is going vertically upward, that's why this value will be of plus P sin 30. This 500 Newton going downward, that's why minus, and N2 is going vertically upward, that's why it is taken as plus. Now here, simplify the term or keep it as it is. Your N2 plus, now here this 500 let us take to this side, and sin 30 is nothing but what, 1/2, that is 0.5 p is equal to 500. 500, this minus term taken to this side, it becomes a plus term. Now keep this value as it is. Now motion under impending, that's why F2 is equal to nu into N2. Okay, that's why 0.5 into N2 value is how much? N2 is equal to, if we are taking this term to this side, what will happen? This 500 minus 0.5 p, and new value is 0.2. Now multiply this 0.2 with this bracket, what will be getting? 0.2 multiply with 500, it becomes 100, and 0.2 multiply with 0.5, it becomes a 0.1 p. This one is the value of F2. Now next step is that we have to find out the summation Fx is equal to 0. Now let us calculate these terms. Horizontal direction, forces in the horizontal direction. Now resolve component in this horizontal direction is of cos component, that's why P cos 30 positive. T force is going in the left side direction, that's why minus T. F2 is going in the left side direction, that's why minus F2. Now put the values and you'll be getting. Now here T value, what we have previously found it out, 724.5. F2 value is here 100 minus 0.1 p, put it over here. Now if you solve this, you will be getting what? P4. If you solve this, now I will show you how to solve these terms. Now let us take this constant term together. This minus minus become a plus. It means that 824.5. This will be the plus term. Now here cos 30 is of 0.866 p. Okay, plus this 0.1 p is equal to 824.5. Okay, now let us calculate this term. 0.866 plus 0.1, it becomes a 0.966. Okay, and 824.5 divided by this answer, you'll be getting 853.5. This will be the value of your P, and what we have to find out, the how much this P force is required to move this block or try to impending that block in a motion. That force is how much? 853.5. If this force or more than this force, if we are applying the force, the both of these block will be moving in the right side direction. And this is by this way, by using the equilibrium conditions, by using the friction concept, we are easily find out the how much this P force is required to move that block or try to impending that block to move in particular direction. Okay, now let us see some other applications of the friction. Application to the ladder problem. As we know that ladder means what? A ladder resting against a wall, a typical case of friction problem. In non-concurrent system of force, as we know that non-concurrent means what? The forces are not passing from the single point. It's called non-concurrent force system. Hence, we have three solutions of equilibrium available. From the law of friction, we have the equations, that is F upon N is equal to nu, that is the coefficient of friction. Using the equilibrium equations and the friction law, the problem can be solved. Now let us see how to solve the ladder problem. Now if you see here, the ladder of length 4 meter weighing 200 Newton is placed against a vertical wall as shown in the figure. The coefficient of friction between the wall and the ladder is 0.2, and that between the floor and the ladder is 0.3. the ladder in addition to its own weight has supported a man weighing 600 Newton at a distance of 3 meters from A. Calculate the minimum horizontal force to applied at A to prevent the slipping. Now, if you see here in this figure, the total length of the block is given 4 meter. The weight of that ladder is of 200 Newton, and it is supporting a man having the weight of 600 Newton, and it makes an angle of 60 degree over here. And how much this P force is required to prevent to slide this ladder in this direction? Okay, so that how much this P force is required, that we have to find out over here. And the coefficient of friction is given over here. The coefficient of friction between the wall and the ladder means it at this location. The coefficient of friction is 0.2 over here. And the coefficient of friction between the floor and the ladder, it means that this one is the floor at this location. The 0.3 is the coefficient of friction. It means that new value over here is 0.2 and new value over here is 0.3. Okay, as we know that wall is the rough surface and the floor is the smooth surface. Accordingly, the coefficient of friction is given over here. Now, if you are drawing the free body diagram, it will be look like this one. Very first of all, draw the ladder, then show the self weight, then show the external load, that is the man standing over this ladder is of a 600 Newton weight. Now here external force is of P. Now the reactive components. Now the motion of that ladder, if it is impending, it will be slide in this direction. The lower part will be moving in this direction and upper part will be moving in the downward direction. That's why the friction force which is developing in opposite direction, that is F2 in the upward direction over here and FA in the right side direction, because motion impending in the left side direction. That's why friction force will be in the right side direction. Now here ladder is moving in the downward direction. That's why the friction force will be in the upward direction. And the normal reactions are always perpendicular to the support. That's why here NB is perpendicular to this one and NA is also perpendicular to this one. Now here what we have to find out this, how much this P force is required to avoid the slipping. Okay, to avoid the slipping over here. Now how to avoid this one? To avoid this slipping, what we have to make the, how much this P force is required to be applied over the location A. Now if you see here, now let us consider the free body diagram of the ladder separately and apply the equilibrium condition, that is summation Fy, summation Fx and coefficient of friction, that we have to apply over here. Now let us see. Now let us take the summation of all the forces, moment of all the forces about point A, moment of all the, this one is the another equilibrium condition, summation of all the forces about, summation of all the moments, force moment about any point is equal to 0. That's why we are taking the moment of all the forces about point A. Okay, moment of all the forces about point A is equal to 0. This one is the equilibrium condition that we are using. Now if you are taking one by one, now if you start with, now if you are taking the moment about point A, this P force is passing from this point A, NA force passing from the point A, FA force is passing from the point A. And if the forces are passing from the same point where we have to find out the moment, the perpendicular distance will be 0. That's why the moment due to these three forces will automatically 0. Now let us proceed for the next one. Now here this 200 Newton weight. Now here the perpendicular distance between them is, now here as we know that the total length of the ladder is of 4 meter. That's why half of the distance will be of 2 meter. Okay, and we have to find out this horizontal distance. Now here if this angle is of 60, this angle will be of the 60 same. Okay, and adjacent component is cos component, that's why this component will be of cos component. It means that 2 cos 60 will be the length, perpendicular distance, that's why 200 into 2 cos 60. Okay, plus now here also, due to this 600 Newton weight, and it is lies at 1 meter from the top, it means that 3 meter from the bottom. Similarly over here, this perpendicular distance, as previously what we have calculated, 2 cos 60, it becomes a 3 cos 60. 3 cos 60, this perpendicular distance is of 3 cos 60, that's why multiply by 3 cos 60. Now here FB, now here again this perpendicular distance increases because this total length is of 4 meter, and this horizontal component will be 4 cos 60. 4 cos 60. That's why FB. But due to this FB, it makes an anti-clockwise movement out point A. That's why minus term is taken over here. Minus FB into 4 cos 60. And due to this NB, force NB, it makes an anti-clockwise movement again. That's why minus NB. Now here, if we see here, this 4 cos 60 is the horizontal component. It means that this perpendicular distance for this NB will be 4 sin 60 over here. It is simple trigonometrical relations. 4 sin 60. How we have found it out? If we are, this one is the triangle, this distance is of 2 meter, this angle is of 60. Now let us say this one is the x, this one is the y, and as we know that cos 60 is equal to what? Adjacent side x upon 2. That's why x is equal to 2 cos 60. Similarly, sin 60 is equal to opposite side upon hypotenuse, y upon 2. That's why y is equal to 2 sin 60. Here we have three distances, 2 meter, 3 meter, and 4 meter. Correspondingly, these distances 2 cos 60, 3 cos 60, 4 cos 60, and y distances 2 sin 60, 3 sin 60, and 4 sin 60. That's why this distance is 4 sin 60. Okay, once you have calculated all these distances, now it is easy to find out the values. Now dividing this throughout by the 4 and rearranging the term, finally what you will be getting one equation in the form of FB and NB. And what that relation is, 0.866 NB plus 0.5 FB is equal to 275. By solving this equation and rearranging, you will be getting this equation. And by applying the law of friction, as we know that now here friction force FB is equal to nu into NB. Nu is how much? 0.2 over here. For this case, 0.2 is the value given. That's why 0.2 NB. Again, put this value in the above equation. Put this value FB is equal to 0.2 NB value in this equation. You will be getting this value is put and simplify the term. Then you will be getting what? NB. Now solve this one. You'll be getting NB of 284.7. Now, if you are putting this value of NB in the above equation, you will be getting FB. If you are multiplying with the 0.2 only, you will be getting FB. FB is of 56.94 Newton. Okay, by using this, what we have found out? The friction force FB and NB. Now let us proceed for the summation of all vertical forces is equal to 0. Now here NA force NA is going vertically upward, that's why positive. This 200 Newton force going downward, that's why it is negative. This 600 Newton force going downward, that's why negative. And this FB force going vertically upward, that's why it is positive. FB value what we have found out here, 56.94. Put this value over here, put this value and simplify the term. Na is also, you'll be getting over here, Na is, by putting this value, you'll be getting Na of 743.06 Newton. By putting this value of Nb in this above equation, you'll be getting Na is equal to 743.06. And as we know that the relation due to the friction, Fa is equal to nu into Na, and nu value is coefficient of friction between this floor and the ladder is 0.3. That's why 0.3 into 743.06, you will be getting 222.9 Newton. That is the friction force Fa, and normal reaction Na, that we have found it out. Now the next is summation of all horizontal forces. That is, P force is going right side direction, that's why it is positive. Fa going right side direction, that's why positive. And this Nb force going left side direction, that's why negative. Nb value is how much? 284.7. Now put that value, as well as Fa value is how much? 222.9. Put that value also, and you'll be getting the P force. And finally, P force is equal to how much? 61.8 Newton. It means that if we are applying 61.8 Newton force in horizontal direction at location A, the ladder will not be slip. Ladder will not be slip. It means that this much amount of force is to be required to apply at support A. By applying this force P, the ladder will not be moving in the downward direction. By such a way, we are easily find out the various forces reactions which is occurring over that particular body. Now let us proceed further another type of an problem in the applications of the friction in the problems in the engineering, that is the wedge problem. Now what is meant by wedge? Now let us see application to the wedge problems. Wedge is a very small piece of hard material with two of their opposite surfaces are not parallel to each other. Two opposite surfaces are not parallel to each other, and a very small piece of and having the hard material is called a wedge. They are used to slightly lift heavy blocks. You might be seen various cases to lift the heavy blocks or machineries or precast beams. These wedges are used. For making the final alignments also it is used. To make the place for the resting lifting devices, it is also used. In many problems, the weight of the wedge is very small. The weight of the wedge is very small as compared to the weight is lifted. Hence, in all the problems, the self weight of the wedges are neglected. There is found that the analysis, instead of treating the normal reaction and friction force independently, it is advantageous to treat their resultant. It means that in the many of the cases, as we know that there is the friction force F and normal reaction N. Now instead of considering the separately normal reaction and friction force, we may use directly the resultant R of that two forces for our problem simplification, and whatever may be the angle made by that particular resultant, that is also we have to find out over here. Now let us see the wedge problem. Determine the force. If you see over here, this one is the wedge, this one is the, this lower block is of wedge. If you see here, this plane is making an angle 30, this plane is of horizontal. Two planes are not parallel to each other is called a wedge, and having the very small size and very small weight, and we are neglecting that weight, and such a block is called a wedge. To lift that weight of 20 Newton, this wedge is used. Now if you see here this problem, what is the statement of this problem? Determine the force P required P required to start the motion of an wedge as shown in the figure. The angle of friction of all the surface of contact is 15 degree. Now here this angle is what? The theta which is made by the resultant R is given over here. Okay, already the angle which is made by the resultant R is getting from what? Your F force as well as your normal force, and resultant force is R, and it is making an angle of theta over here. It is given in this problem. Now let us see. Draw the free body diagram of each block separately. Now if you see over here, this block of 20 Newton, the self weight is shown over here. Now whatever may be the friction force over here and normal reaction over here, the resultant of these two is shown over here, R1, and it is making an angle of 50, what is provided over here. Similarly, if you see over here, the block or the wedge, P force is applied in the horizontal direction, it is making an angle. If we are seeing over here, horizontal friction force as well as normal reaction, F force and N force, the resultant of these two is considered over here, and it is also making an angle of 50 degree. Now here already this it is the plane is in incline one, it is making an angle of 20 degree. That's why the resultant it is already making an 20 plus this 50 degree angle of due to the friction. That's why this 20 plus this 50, it becomes a 30 degree angle which is made to this inclined plane. That is the resultant over here, R2. Okay, this one is considered as R1, this one is R2, and this one is R3, and this P force that we have to find out over here. Now if you are considering the only this block, now here separately consider the free body diagram of that block. As we know that the force 20 Newton is passing from the CG of that block, we may consider anywhere over the same line of action. That's why it is shown over here 20, which is vertically downward. This R1 force you may treat at anywhere over the same line of action. That's why it is shown over here R1, which is making an angle of 50 degree with the horizontal, which is shown over here. Similarly, this R2 is also passing, it will be shown like this one. It is also making an angle 35, that's why it is shown over here. It is making an angle of 35, that's why it is shown over here 35 degree and R2. Now if you see here, these are the three concurrent coplanar forces, and the angle between them is, as we know that, it means that we can apply the Lami's theorem and easily find out the unknowns R1 and R2 over here. Now similarly for this block also, separately if we are considering the block, this P force we may treat at anywhere over the same line of action. This force and this force we may consider anywhere over this line of action. That's why this P force is shown in the horizontal direction over here. This R3 force is shown over here in this direction. It makes an angle of 15 degree over here. This R2 is shown in this direction. That's why R2 over here, and it makes an angle of 35 degree over here. Okay, now let us consider these two diagrams separately and solve this problem to find out the P force. Now let us consider the separate diagrams. Now let us consider first this and apply the Lami's theorem. As we know that according to Lami's theorem, now here R1 divided by sine of angle between the other two forces, that is 180 minus this 35, it becomes a sine 145. Now here R2 divided by sine of angle between other two forces are, now out of this 180, if out of this 90, if you are subtracting this 15, you will be getting 75, sine 75. And for this 20 Newton force, the angle between the other two forces are this 75 plus 90 plus this 15. 15 plus 25, it becomes a 35 plus 90 plus 15, it becomes a sine 140. Now once you will be getting all this, it is easy to find out. Now let us take this sine 45 term to this side. What will happen? It multiplies with the sine with this term 145 over here. Now let us calculate this term. Let us calculate the term. 20 into sine 145 divided by sine 140. 17.84, that is the R1. Similarly, R2, this 75 sine 75 term, let us take to this side. What will happen? This 20 into 75. If you solve this one, 30, that is the R2. From this, what we will be getting the reaction R1 and R2 by using the Lami's theorem. Similarly, over here P is the unknown, R3 is unknown. It means that you have to find out by using this R2. R2 is 30 as we have calculated over here. Now apply the Lami's theorem again. Now here P divided by sine of angle between the other two forces are this 180 minus this 15 and 35, it becomes a sine 130, and R2 divided by sine of angle between the other two forces are 90 plus this 15, it becomes a 105. Now solve this. R2 is of 30, it means that this term, let us take to this side, it will be multiplying. If you multiply this 30 multiply with the sine 130 divided by sine 105, something went wrong. Let us solve again. 30 multiply with sine of 130 and divided by sine of 105. 23.84, that is the P force. By using this equilibrium by using the Lami's theorem, we are finding out the reaction as well as the P force which is required to apply over that particular wedge to avoid or to move that block in upward direction. To move that block, if you see here this block 20 Newton block, it is required to lift in upward direction. That's why we have to apply this P force in this direction so that this block will be moving in the upward direction. And how much this P force required over here? What we have found out? The P force is of 23.84 Newton. If we are applying that much amount of force over that particular wedge,